So now doesn't necessarily need to be my price is going to be increasing, because in most cases your audience is not going to believe it anyway. They're going to go, well, that's what you say, you're a marketer, right?
So the question is, when you get a lead, when you get a buyer and somebody opts in to get your thing, your free thing, your paid thing, the question is, what happens? Well, in most cases, for most people, nothing happens. Most entrepreneurs, most business owners do not have a follow-up email process that is automated, that kicks in. And the question is, what makes a good follow-up email process? Today in this video, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to a recent call that I did to walk you through what are the different elements that needs to be in place so that when somebody opts in, when somebody buys from you, what needs to be communicated so that automatically there is goodwill being built, there's trust, there's credibility, so that eventually when you do make an offer, it becomes a no-brainer because that trust and that relationship has already been built. Let's begin.
My goal is to help you get more done in 1 hour than what you would otherwise do in an entire month. Now, what is that? You see, most of the time, marketers focus on the ad to get more leads. And then when the lead comes in, what happens? Well, nothing really happens, right? They go on to try to look for more new leads, new customers, new sales. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes too, how we maximize every lead. Now, how the customer journey begins is going to be closely related to your value ladder and your sales process and your business model. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you how we map out our entire customer journey first to ascend them from one step to another. Then the next segment of this call is where I'm going to show you how do you write up. Number 2 would be emails. The value ladder is how we ascend people to the next thing based on their commitment levels. Some people just want to learn stuff and they don't want the hand holding. Some people just want the done for you stuff and they don't want the learning. So in order to cater for different levels of the entrepreneur, we have our value ladder. Okay, so what we want to be able to do first is to think about, well, when somebody gives us a lead, what actually happens next, right? And usually what happens next after they opt in for something, if they are at a certain level in your sales process, you gotta be able to have please write down, an automated email sequence that gets them to that next level. So this means that regardless of what level my audience is at, there will always be some sort of sequence or event or thing that is automatically pushing them to the next level. So if a person is stuck at that level and isn't moving, let's say stuck at the level isn't moving could be like, for example, somebody that came to this step here, which is my books, and let's say a low ticket event, right? And maybe they abandoned cart. Then there will be an abandoned cart sequence that gets them to buy the product because it was a cart abandonment. Now, if they bought the product over here, that means there must be some sort of sequence, automated, for the buyer to ascend to the next thing. So this is literally an event we did recently, which was a post-event email sequence. Okay. Now, what my team would do is we have a system that we map out from a bird's eye perspective so that we can see what are the different sequences based on different scenarios that will put a person through based on where they're at in our sales processes. Okay, so let's say this event, right, this ABC method that we did last event, the first thing I will do, or the first thing my team will do now, is they will think about the different possible scenarios. So even in the follow-up sales process, I want you to notice it's not just, hey, I noticed you didn't show up, I made this offer, it's a really cool offer, come buy my stuff. It's not just, hey, congratulations for attending the event, I made this offer, go buy my stuff, right? I want you to notice that there's still a good mix And you might notice the mix is, it could be call to action, it could be storytelling, which is something we'll talk about, right? How do you create this mix? So in terms of a customer journey, number one, okay, notice what we did is we will always map out and have a document. Again, this is systems and process. You heard Ernie talk about how you want to scale from 6 to 7 figures, 7 to 8 figures, it's all systems and process, right? If every single time I had a new funnel, if every single time I had a new event, and like that over there, like it was a 100-page document, okay? If every time we tried to create a brand new sequence from scratch, we would go insane, right? Now, there would be elements that's customized to a sales process, but there's also elements that we would utilize again and again. So how can you utilize this? Well, first thing you're going to do together with me is to think about your value ladder. And then you got to ask yourself, what are the gaps in my value ladder where I currently don't have an automated sequence? Okay, you got to audit your entire sales process. And you got to ask yourself, in every single scenario, do I have an automated email sequence that goes out for at least minimum 1 week, 7 emails, minimum, okay? Like the one that we are doing right now, the email sequence is 30 days, okay? So in most cases, like minimum, to me, 7, okay? The one that you should strive for is 1 month, okay? But 7 should be the minimum you follow up with that lead in order to ascend them to the next thing. These are the little things that makes small differences that add up, okay? But a much bigger thing that makes a much bigger difference is, well, where are the gaps right now in your business, okay? So the first thing I'd like you to think about is, based on your value ladder, think about where are that weak points where there isn't an automated sequence just yet. So for some people, it could be as easy as getting a lead. And once they get the lead, other than that initial email that says, hey, thank you for opting in. So the question is, where do we start? You start with obviously the biggest list, right? The biggest list should have your attention first, right? And we gotta ask ourselves, we always begin with the end in mind, right? We gotta ask ourselves, okay, so here's what we're gonna do, okay? Because all of your funnels are obviously different, your products are different, your offers are different. All we're gonna do for this session here is we're gonna pick one before we write or scope out these emails. Okay, please write down. Emails are to sell the click and not the offer or the product. Okay, please write it down, right? The emails are to sell the click and not the product or the offer. You allow the sales funnel to do the heavy lifting to sell the product and the offer for you. Emails are just for them to click it. So in terms of the first email that they always get has got to be able to acknowledge. So just like a upsell video, right? You're going to be able to acknowledge the step they took. So they understand why they're receiving that email to begin with. Okay? Acknowledge the step that they took. So if you take a look at the start of these different email sequences, you're going to realize that, let me just show you some examples. Okay? The first email that we always send out in any sequence is to always mention what it is that they just did. Okay? So how does this look like? Okay, so email number 1, let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, you might notice this email number 1 says, congratulations on attending the live event. Then what I will do is I will then bridge the step that they did to the step that they were supposed to do next but they didn't. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so now over here what we are going to be doing is we acknowledge the step, right, that they took, and our goal is just to be able to bridge it, right? We're going to create a bridge and we're going to think about what was the conversation of the bridge sound like. Okay? In order for them not to buy, okay, remember, what is the goal? The goal is not to buy, but to click. Right? You're selling the click, and you're allowing the sales process to do the selling for you. Right? You're allowing the funnel to do the selling for you. So now, if you wanted them to click on your thing, could be an offer, it could be the upgrade to a VIP ticket to attend a live event, or to finally attend the webinar that they missed out, or to be able to get a low ticket product, or to be able to apply for that strategy call. Congratulations for signing up for the 30-day challenge. This is Balaji here, and after doing this for a really long time, you seem to be one of those people. What do I mean by one of those people? Well, after doing this for a really long time, I dare say that most people love to begin, most people love to start, most people love to dabble. And I was really hoping you weren't one of them. But it did look like you signed up for my masterclass, but somehow you didn't complete it. You abandoned cart. And I was wondering why. If you are somebody that is committed to getting significant results and change when it comes to fill in the blank niche, right? And you want to be a finisher, right? Then click on this link below so that I can benefit, so that you will be able to result. Okay? So all I'm doing is acknowledging the step they took, bridge. What are the objections about? Objections could be about the vehicle, which is the opportunity. Objection about the keto diet. Objection about Forex. Objection about real estate. Objection about the NFT, metaverse, cryptocurrency. Right? Vehicle. It's too late. Everything's already expensive, right? It's too late. Vehicle could be like network marketing. I don't want to approach friends and family, right? Objections about the vehicle. Objections could be about internal, right? What is internal? In their own inability to execute. Oh, but I'm not good enough. But sure, you can do it, but I'm not like you. I'm not extroverted, right? Oh, here's why you can do it. You can do it because you're still young. I'm too old to do this. Okay? Objections could be like, right, why would it work for somebody else? Oh, but here's why it won't work for me. Okay, internal. Or this could be any other reasons or justifications and excuses, external. Okay? And we will utilize each of these talking points to think about our customers' biggest objections in our follow-up email sequence. We never want to talk at our audience, whether it's at a live event or even on email. We want to be able to have a conversation with, and to be able to have them draw that conclusion themselves rather than us telling them. So telling them is one thing, but the next question to ask ourselves is there something that I can do, a story that I can tell that allows my audience to go, that's right. And they think that they came to the conclusion themselves, when in fact, we just asked them the right questions or told them the right stories.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if the right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below, and my team will be in touch with you.